Good evening, race fans. Welcome to a special presentation from CRN. It is the second running of the CRN Cup, and this is just a special event and a chance for all the leagues that CRN has under our blanket here of coverage to get together, kind of test each other's mettle, see who's got the best drivers in each league, but also a chance to kind of branch out a little bit, to give it a little cross-pollination here, and a chance to market each of the leagues here individually. So we've got 6 different series here tonight that are being covered. We got, of course, the 2 from Core, that being the Core Xfinity Series and the Core GT Series. We got the YESCAR League that we covered on Thursday night, or actually Wednesday nights. That they ran the truck series last season, and I believe they're looking to run the 87 cars for the upcoming season. We'll try and talk to Big Duke with that later on this evening before the second race. We got Virtual Velocity Racing, run by Tim Lee, as they're getting ready and gearing up for the 2025 season, which probably is going to start in February time. Those guys are running on Thursday nights. Tim, unfortunately, not able to be here tonight. Little family emergency tonight, so certainly thoughts and prayers from the CRN family. Hope everything is going good for Tim, but he's got a few of his drivers out here tonight. We've got CSRL, the Casual Sim Racers League GT Series, that runs on Wednesday nights as well, and we got Jim Dutton. We'll bring him in here in a bit to discuss what he's got coming up here in the future. And then also UCRL, unfortunately, Scott Bolster not able to be here tonight, but they run on Tuesday nights. Just got finished up with a Gen 4 series, and looking to possibly run the 87 series coming up for this next season. But Carl Hamworth joined the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we're getting done with practice here, getting ready to start qualifying, but we got a fun little night here tonight. 2 races on tap, the Xfinity cars at Kansas, and then later on we're going to have the GT3s at Daytona.
Yeah, it's always good to get the leagues together here to have a little bit of fun and, a little bit of prize, a little free broadcast from us, just to say thank you for being with us throughout the seasons and to kind of give back to the community. So, but it's going to be a good one here tonight. Got a lot of cars on tap, looking to get in some qualifying to see where they're going to start here at Kansas.
Yeah, well, we got a chance here. We're going to go ahead and bring in, if I can grab them correctly here, we're going to go ahead and bring in the league owner from one of the other leagues that we discussed here, that's going to be showing up here tonight, and that is Jim Dutton, owner and man behind the curtain for CSRL. Jim, we got you up here in the booth. It sounds like you're just not wanting to try and wrangle this Xfinity car here tonight, so you're going to have to step out of the car and talk with us here a little bit. Will you join us for the GT3 race on track later on? But Jim, first of all, welcome to the booth. Welcome to the special event here tonight.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It's just I ran out of talent trying to land this car, so I figured it would be best, maybe use my voice instead of my driving skills for a little bit.
It happens to the best of us, and from the update here, it seems like this back end is certainly unhinged a little bit here at Kansas, and it's a little bit loose. So hopefully these drivers can wrangle it in here tonight. But I want to talk to you real quick about CSRL. We obviously just got done covering you for another season this past season, and you're already looking to gear up for 2025. Gonna maybe run a couple fun events for the drivers here over the winter or over December here, and then get started back up in January.
Yeah, so we just finished a nice little race at Daytona. It was a group event. It was kind of a fun event. We did incorporate some points into that. We have another event coming up this Wednesday that'll be open to everybody. It's we're running the new BMW M2, and we are taking that around Road Atlanta, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a great little combination. We're also we're starting an M2 series. I believe it's on the 7th of January, so this will be a nice introduction to that, and get people behind that car. It's a blast to drive too, man. It is so much fun. If you haven't driven it, please do. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The few drivers that have had a chance to get out there and drive it. I haven't had a chance myself yet, but I've heard it's fun. I heard it's kind of it's an entry level car, but you can certainly have some fun with it as well. So certainly looking forward to seeing what you have on tap for that. Obviously, Not going to be covered from the first season, as if I remember correctly, but possibly, if that branches out, we'll see where it goes as far as broadcasting. But the one we do broadcast for you guys, the GT series, it's been quite popular, and it's been doing really well for you guys.
Yeah, so we averaged low to mid 30s as far as car counts for every race in season 10. Speaking of, we are going into season 11, which is something that not a ton of leagues can say. And we keep on growing in popularity, which is fantastic. So it's been quite a competitive series. No matter who you are, you have somebody to race on track. It's been a lot of fun. It was a little bit heartbreaking for me last season, but hopefully it'll be a little bit better this season coming up. And really looking forward to it. And definitely the admin that I have with me have really helped shape everything up for next season. It's looking really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a blast for the few seasons that we've been on tap, and it's just, you've got a formula that's working. You got some good drivers in there. You got some, kind of mid. You got some backpack drivers. You got a little bit of everything, and it's a series that invites a little bit of everything. And you guys got the pro class and the M class in there, and it certainly works out really well. So, I mean, it's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's working really well for you guys. So, congrats on the success. I did post, if you guys want to take a look down below in the info, we got the Discord link in there. We got the iRacing League in there. Certainly check that out if you're looking for a little GT3 action on Wednesday nights. Get in touch with either of us up here, myself or Jimmy, or get right in touch with Jim. He can get you guys going. But Jim, want to thank you for joining us up here in the booth. You have anything else you want to mention before we let you go?
No, that's it. Thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to racing with you guys for the road course stuff. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, buddy. Make sure you get in there and get in the ears of your guys and see what they can do here on the oval.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. That is, again, the owner and the man behind the curtain there for CSRL, the Casual Sim Racers League. And yeah, I mean, they got a really good GT3 program over there if you're looking for something on Wednesday nights. But Jimmy, we're all done with qualifying. We got a heck of a field out here tonight. 31 cars look like they're getting ready to take the green flag. Why don't you give us a rundown?
Yeah, a little bit of rundown here tonight of where everybody stands, and we're going to start off with Alan Elwood on top there, and then number 5 on the outside, and always been seeming to be following around, and then number 3 of Craig Jancic. Row number 2 would be Nico Garcia and Jack Stoneman. Row number 3, Tyler Bryan and Grady Gherkin. Row number 4, Joe Sullivan and Maxwell Caldwell. Row number 5, John Crane with Dave Tilford. Row number 6, Dalton Kilroe and Jake Lesh. Row number 7, Christopher Hamilton and Dominic Ford. Row number 8, it was going to be Tim Glass and Ricky Renner. Row number 9, Andrew Pleshy and Todd Merkel. But that doesn't end there. We have many more here tonight. So we have on row number 10. Row number 10, Anthony Jenkins and Robert Knox. Nathan Nickerson with Kevin Foster. Back there on row number 11. Row number 12, James Malinello and Albi Vishwasam. Row number 13, Alexander Hamrick and Tyler Skozen. And Carl, I guess you're going to be racing out there as well with Michael Pratt.
Nope, not at all. Yeah, myself and Tyler. It's unfortunately with the way we had to set the session here, you have to you can't watch out there for some reason, or at least I couldn't click watch. So yeah, I guess my ghost car will be out there somewhere.
And then Joe Thomas and Jeremy Gainey and Mason Smith. So 30 cars will be out in the field. Carl will be out there in spirit, but he's going to be up here in the booth. I'm holding him hostage. I got him chained to the chairs, gentlemen. I got him chained to the chairs.
So for those out there watching this event, again, it's just a kind of a fun, let your hair down type of event for these drivers out here. And the way it's going to work is we got a little bit on the line for both the league owners and for the drivers out there. So the drivers out here are driving kind of representing representing their league. So you got some drivers running for VVR, you got some running for YESCAR, so on and so forth. And each of them will score points depending on where they finish in the race. It's going to be scored all the way down to position 24. It's going to be 50 points for the winner, 46 for second, 44 for third, and it's going to go down by 2 points all the way down until you get to 25th position. On back is going to be 0 points. but only the top 3 in each league are going to score points. So it's going to be a lot of craziness out there, and we'll let you know what the points are once they finish up, and as soon as I get done calculating them. But the winner for the oval race here, and then the winner for the GT3 race, are each going to get a free broadcast from CRN. But also, we got some money on the line as well. We're going to have some prizes given out here, and there's going to be some money on the line for the winners in both of these races and some random winners as well. So certainly stay tuned for that. But we got 50 laps on tap here tonight. It's going to be a 50-lap race here at Kansas, a 30-minute timed race at Daytona later on tonight. So tune in, buckle up, and get ready for some good racing here tonight.
There should definitely be some good racing here, but the pace car is in, and we are about to get ready to go back to green as Alan Elwood will lead the field down the front stretch here at Kansas for 50 laps.
Already some jockeying for position in the back, 3 wide in the back again. 50 laps, it seems like it's a nice long race, but that thing is going to go by pretty quickly here at Kansas. I'm just hoping that all these drivers got a chance to get a feel for these cars. Like I said, it seemed like they really kind of loosened up after the updates here. As we got a car off on the backstretch there. Not sure what happened there. Looked like a car blew up on the backstretch, went down to the infield. But we're going to stay green here. And trying to take a look at who that might have been, but I'm not seeing exactly who. We're going to have a yellow flag here early.
Yeah, I'm not catching it here.
Like maybe Alexander Hamrick, Jeremy Gainey as he went off track. So we'll take a look here and see what caused this one.
Yeah, just trying to find out. It doesn't look like SDK is picking this one up here, Carl, and I don't know if my overlays or what's going on here, so I'm trying to get it. Things going on. Okay, obviously big update, and SDK probably needs an update to catch up with all the stuff that's happening in iRacing. But we're gonna get back and see if we can figure out who that is back there. And it looks like it might be.
It looked like maybe Hammer came down across the front end. It looks like Jeremy Gainey came down across the front end of Alexander Hamrick. Yeah, middle of the corner, running 3 wide. It looks like Gainey just came down a little bit and caught the front end of the 23. It's going to bring us under our first caution. Let's see what happened on the early stage there. I think it might have been Tyler Bryan.
Yeah, just looking here in the back here right now, is looking to see what happened here. Kind of keeping my eye there on Hamrick in the 26. Oh, just a little wiggle there by the orange and blue car. It's a Smith, Hamrick involved there, going out. There's a little mix up there between the couple cars, but they'll get things going back straight. They do, I believe they get one fast repair tonight, right, Carl?
Yep, all the drivers are going to get one fast repair out here tonight. It's going to be, they have 50% fuel in the tanks, so they're most likely going to have to make one pit stop here at least. And we'll see if there's any takers. Obviously, we got a couple takers on this one here. Unlimited tires, so they take tires as much as they want to keep it nice and clean out there. I want to try and give them as much grip as possible out there. It's a little bit squirrely out there with the back end. Hopefully, the lighter fuel load will help out with that a little bit as well. But we'll see how it goes. Either way, after the start of this race, we got Alan Elwood, Craig Jancic, Nico Garcia, Jack Stoneman, Joe Sullivan for your top 5, then Grady Gherkin, John Crane, Maxwell Caldwell, Dave Tilford, Chris Hamilton for your top 10.
Brought up the tower for all the fans out there, so you can see who your favorite drivers are. If you're out there in chat, I am paying attention. So it looked like Jimmy Corn said his internet was down, but he's heading back in now. Not quite sure what driver that is, but always good to see Barry out there along with Brandon Powell and Mechanic Joe, first one in the chat here tonight. So if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe here at CRN. We continue to cover all these leagues that are involved here tonight, but we also have opportunity for other leagues if they're interested. Just kind of get in touch with me and Carl and see if we can fit you in our schedule. As there is got a a small army of broadcasters up here that like to do this type of thing. So it's a good one here so far tonight. Just a little rough start there at the beginning. So, it's like Carl was saying, it's going to go by fast, but there's plenty of time remaining here still. We've got only 4 laps in out of the 50. They're going to start heading back to green here as Alan Elwood will bring them back down again in that Geico restart range. And he gets back on that loud pedal, heading down into turn 1. A nice jump over Craig Jancic and Nico Garcia.
Yeah, one thing that was updated as well is the graphics for iRacing. With this update, the graphics have gotten a bit of an overhaul, and I tell you what, I could tell at least pretty quickly getting into these cars. I could tell on the core GT broadcast this past Thursday night, but even out here on the oval side of it, I mean, it looks a lot more shiny, especially on the backstretch with this sun beating down right now. The cars look just so much more clear, more crisp. It just adds that little bit of pop here and make it look really good. It looks like Russell Knox having a bit of a connection issue. We're gonna try and hop back in here, but so far so good. We're back here under green. Hopefully the drivers can keep it green for a little bit, stretch it out here, and get to some passing.
Yeah, so a lot of things going on. I've tried to keep in touch as best as possible, but if you're interested in a certain driver, give them a shout out, and we'll give them some airtime here, and where your favorite driver is, where your favorite league's at, and show them the support and love that they all deserve.
Give me a message when you get a chance. We'll try and clear that up, but either way, once again, like Jimmy mentioned, I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in here tonight. Just a nice little fun event, the CRN Cup that we run twice a year, or at least attempt to, as got a couple cars getting a little bit high in that wall. Kansas has been known for quite some time to be a high-dominated track. It's a track that you usually see the cars all the way up the top of the wall and then running that high line all the way up to that last seam. But it seems like more recently, it's been starting to trend back down towards the bottom, and even in the middle, it's really gotten to be a bit of a racy track. It's gotten to be one where you can kind of put the car wherever you want, and if you have these long runs, a lot of times what you'll see is the drivers start out at the bottom, and once the tires start wearing in, you see them move to the middle a little bit, and then eventually move up to the top once the tires are kind of really worn in. But you see right now at the front of the field, Alan Elwood is leading, but Craig Jancic starting to reel him in a little bit. And you wonder out here tonight, again, these drivers are running for, quote-unquote teams. They need to accumulate the most points for their team. So you wonder how much discussion is going on in between the drivers who are competing out here tonight and want to try and get the most points for the team. But Jimmy, at the end of the night, pride is on the line, and you want to get that win. Let's be honest.
Let's see a slow car back there, number 23 of Henrik down there on the bottom of the track as everybody goes by. So he still has that number 23 going, maybe looking to come down in the pits here early here on lap 10, but just maybe having a little rough night out there with that Xfinity series. Used to seeing Alex out there in the GT series, maybe giving it a whirl here, and quickly realizing that ovals aren't just all about going left. There's a lot of throttle control and braking and hitting your marks and running super close with people an extreme amount of time. And it's when you get on that road track, sometimes you're not side by side with somebody all the time, and here on a road course, you get them runs over and over again where you're just making up tenths or even less than to catch up to somebody. And if you manage to manage your tires, and a nice hit by the wall by Dominic Ford, that Scooby-Doo machine, but seems to keep it going there and able to keep it straight. But that did not feel good watching it from up here. So there's a lot of close action all over the place here. It's kind of hard to capture it all. There's got a lot of cars that are pretty super close together here. I think it's a battle here between Brian, and Tim Glass.
Yeah, Brian going to the outside here, too wide. There's the battle for 14th to 15th. And again, every position matters here because you got to try and score the most points in the top 3 in each. So you never know. That third place driver for your series could be back there in 15th or 16th, and you need to gather as much points as possible. But as I mentioned many times, this is a fun event. Pride is certainly on the line. You want to try and do your best, but you're competing against other leagues. You're competing now against other drivers, and it almost takes more of a form of an official event where you're driving around some drivers that you don't know their driving styles. You don't know how they can handle the car, what they like to do, whether they like to set up a pass, or they like to dive it in and really kind of send it in on you. So it's going to take a little bit of learning from each other here tonight and giving it room. But I mean, it's great to get all these drivers out here together. I mean, if you're a fan of CRN and you watch all the broadcasts that we have a bunch of different leagues, and you see the quality of drivers we have in each of the leagues, and to be able to get them out here on the same track and really kind of test their mettle against each other it's fun for me. It's fun to see how the oval drivers that we have in the Xfinity series match up against VVR and match up against YESCAR and UCRL, and then when we get to the road race next, it'll be fun to see how CSRL goes up against the core GT series, and how some of these oval drivers transition over to the road, and who can really compete for those titles. So it's definitely, there's a lot more underlying in here that it's got a smile on my face, let's be honest, and it's cool to see all these names that we've come to learn and enjoy over the past couple years here broadcasting on CRN, and now we get to see them all out there on the track together.
Yeah, come to love to learn, love to butcher their names. I mean,
Absolutely.
all kinds. I mean, that's my specialty. You got a unique name, and you haven't heard a pronunciation. Just throw it my way. I'll give it a whirl. But definitely a lot of fun out here right now. Got a good lead there by Alan Elwood. Always a dominant name in a lot of the oval series, and doing his thing right now out there, being followed again by Craig Jancic. He seems to always be on his coattails, and it's just going to be a matter of time for, Craig's got Alan Elwood's number, and Alan's going to be chasing Craig around 90% of the time. But Nico Garcia never won the slouch on as well, as he's going around there, and that yellow and black number 1 back there in P number 3. Grady Gherkin, UCRL's league champion there, and they ran the Gen 4 cars, so big change there, in the type of car coming out here to do an oval. But just a great driver, and they're right, like they run that unique car. They run full fuel, they run kind of custom setups a little bit by Scott Bolser that we won't get a chance to talk to, but he tries to dial in them unique cars. Joe Sullivan up against the wall back there, able to keep it out of the way there as everybody kind of sneaks by. There's Dave Tilford making his way by as John Crane is starting to catch up.
Joe's out there repping for the core Xfinity here tonight, but he's repping for us too. I mean, he's one of the broadcasters up here. That's not what we like to see. I mean, we finally get some TV time. We see him up in the wall. I mean, come on, buddy. You got to do better than that. I mean, talking to him before the race is like, yeah, maybe I'll get to talk to you, after the race at some point. Well, not with moves like that, buddy. We got to keep it a little cleaner off the wall. But heck of a battle right here now, as he's got a few other cars all around him right now, and this is the battle for the back half of the top 10. You got Maxwell Caldwell in the 94, Joe Sullivan in the 27. John Crane in the 11, and then Dalton Kilbrough in the number 10. And again, it's funny, at least on my side, just the different names that are represented right here, all racing in the different series that we have, and it's pretty cool to see. Obviously, a couple PVR guys here, a couple. I guess I think Crane is running for the GT series here tonight, and then Sullivan up there in the Xfinity series. So 3 different series right here under these four cars right now, and you see right behind is the man that's been the one to beat in the GT series, that being Dom Ford, but trying to catch up and keep up with these oval guys, and still doing a pretty good job just outside the top 10 right now.
Yeah, not doing too bad, getting out there, and he definitely has experience, being around other drivers and, going fast. So, it's just a comfort thing, and it is a little bit different, but it does take a little bit of time. But it's good to get out of your comfort zone every now and then, and it's some things that you can take back, to the roadside, even though this is, an oval race. They'll help you, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's just being a little easier on tires, throttle control, being able to hit your marks in and out. Ooh, you see 13 tagging them all just a little bit, and that'd be Tyler Bryan. But they're able to keep it straight there and just lose just a little bit of time as Jake Lush makes his way by for P number 13. Going to go back and just kind of see who's our biggest mover is, and we haven't talked about him much and maybe afraid to put him on the camera as of right now, but Christopher Hamilton sitting there in P number 6, up 7 spots, repping the UNOH on the hood there for the 64, but right there in front of him, Stoneman gets down into Grady Gherkin. As they cross the start-finish line, that should bring out a caution.
Somehow, they both kind of kept it straight. The 25 parked in the front stretch, and I guess because they both were straight, iRacing decided the caution's not going to come out, so we're going to stay green here.
Wow.
Certainly some pretty big impact right there between the 25 and the 46, but it looks like we're going to stay green here. That was certainly questionable to say the least. We got a couple drivers coming into the pits. Stoneman going into the pits there. Looks like Hamrick into the pits as well, but it is Craig Jancic out there in the lead right now, 0.2 of a second. He's got Alan Elwood right there with him. Nico Garcia, Chris Hamilton, Joe Sullivan for your top 5, and you talk about big movers, and we got a couple other movers. One of them we're familiar with back there in 21st position. We're familiar with him trying to make his way from the back to the front weekly over there in VVR, and that is Michael Pratt. He's up 6 positions right now, so he started 28th on the field, up 6 positions. But right behind him, another one for the GT Series, and that is going to be Mason Smith. Started shotgun on the field here tonight. He is up 8 spots, and I think just out here trying to complete it, trying to just get this thing done here tonight and get himself over to the GT race at Daytona later. He's just out here trying to have some fun, and at least he's in the points right now. I mean, regardless, he's in the points.
Yeah, Mason, I mean, he does have some ovals experience. When we were running the Core Premier Series, where, that was a Sunday series that we had going on for quite a few series until it kind of put it out there for a little while, and maybe it'll get revisited again, here in the future. But, he was out there running, different car combinations on oval, on road, on everything, and it was just a very unique series for a lot of drivers to kind of get out there and, test your skills in all sets, or I call it the 100 club, so because we ran so many different cars and tracks that you probably normally wouldn't run. The content of iRacing is very high. Thank you to Core Premier Series, but definitely helped out with that. But I see some smoke down in the pit lane, some tires locking up as the leaders are now down in the pits.
Yeah, it is definitely time to start coming into the pits. I've seen the lap before Chris Hamilton ducking into the pits, and now our top 3, Elwood, Jancic, and Garcia into pit lane. It's going to give it over to another driver that we see at the front quite a lot over in VVR, and that is Dalton Kilroe, but he is now going to come into pit lane. You see how tough it is, and you see Joe Sullivan overcooking it coming in. Man, a lot of drivers having issues coming into pit lane here. Oh boy, this is certainly this is getting interesting. I guess that the race on the pit road is just as good, if not better, than the race on the actual track is. Can you get it in there? Can you get it wound up? Certainly a couple cars going to have some penalties on this one for sure. But, man, that was quite interesting. But right now we got Andrew Pileshi, again, another one that we usually see out there for VVR. And another one overcooking it into pit road. Man, who's going to survive another one? Wow. I mean, is there some oil down on the track there or something like that? Right there, the 20 of Anthony Jenkins getting sideways coming into pit road. There's going to be a lot of, the NASCAR officials down there are going to be quite busy with a lot of these drivers.
I'm sure there's some black flags and some holds that are going to be going on here. This is definitely going to stir things up. But Kevin Foster, no stranger leading at Kansas for sure, and you have to nail that entry, and it's really kind of hard. You can see Kevin coming in as late as possible, and a lot of drivers coming in a little bit earlier, hitting that apron crawl. I think just upsets the car, pushed them on the outside of the yellow cone, but Kevin with almost a perfect entry here. was going to make a good entry here, and that should net him a pretty good gain there, up 21 spots, starting in the back. But right now it should come out to Craig Jancic and Alan Elwood back to the lead as they cross the start-finish line. And again, right now it's the 3 over the 5 up on the leaderboard, but Jancic usually repping that number 97 out there. But these two drivers just battling out over and over again. But right behind them is Nico Garcia in that number 1 SWM car that they rep every single week. And then Christopher Hamilton made a couple more spots up, sitting in Pete, number 4. Dalton Kilroe, another fan favorite out there, number 41 is in Pete, number 5. Dave Tilford having an awesome run in P, number 6. Dominique Ford, we talked about him a little bit earlier, but he's caught up the back of Dave Tilford, maybe following Dave around a little bit to learn just a little bit, Dave has taken on, because Dave prefers the road side of things, but has spent quite a bit of time lately on the oval, sharpening the skills and making things better for himself, getting out there. Grady Gherkin, even he was in that little wrap up there, is currently still in P number 8, so good drive back there for the number 46. Tyler Bryant in P number 9. John Crane will round out your top 10 in the number 11 car.
Well, what's interesting here is the top 3 right now. We've certainly seen them do quite a bit of battling this season in the core Xfinity Series, which is going to be wrapping up this Tuesday, before they take a little bit of a break, and then they'll be back for the 2025 season. It's going to be another 20-race schedule, complete with 15 regular season races, 4 playoff races, and then 1 championship race, just the same way we did it this season. So if you're looking for something on Tuesday nights, Core Xfinity Series is got you covered. But as we said, these 3 have done plenty of battling up at the front, but they're not all representing the Core Xfinity Series, so it's not Core Xfinity 1, 2, 3 right now. Jancic is running for CSRL here tonight, the other series that he runs in, of course, and so is Chris Hamilton. Hamilton was unable to run either the Xfinity or GT Series for Core this season, and he did run CSRL, so that's why he is out there repping CSRL. So right now, as it stands, as Elwood makes the pass back for the lead, it is well, I can't say that because it's going back and forth, but either way, Jancic and Hamilton in the top 4 for the CSRL, and then Elwood and Garcia for the Core Xfinity. But you have to look and go a little bit deeper to see where that 3rd place is, and it could end up coming down to a 3rd place driver right now. The other driver out there for CSRL is Anthony Jenkins, back in 26th. So they're certainly going to need a little bit of a comeuppance here in the second half of this race for Jenkins. Still got about 16, 17 laps to go in this race, so plenty of time. Looking at the Core Xfinity, there's certainly quite a bit of drivers out there for the Core Xfinity Series here tonight, and trying to see roughly where the next driver is, as Dalton Kilroe running in 5th, obviously for VVR. Dave Tilford is running for Core GT tonight. Grady Gherkin for UCRL, and then Dominique Ford for Core GT. So I think just about every one of our series out here are represented inside the top 10, looking for our YESCAR drivers, and not seeing them just yet. I know Robert Knox is now just coming out of the pits, had some issues. Todd Merkel is currently running in 14th, and then Tyler Bryan is, he is inside the top 10, so they are represented inside the top 10 as well. So all the series out here getting up there in the top 10, and it's what what the envision was here from the CRN for the CRN booth, is we wanted to see all these series get together and kind of see who the top 10 guys were, and well, each series got somebody in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's each league has their own, group of people that we see every week at a specific time. But it's good to kind of get them together, and you never know, it might spark somebody to join the other league. But you see the 21 hanging on to it.
Good save there by Dom.
Dominic Ford catching himself right there in front of Tyler Bryan as he was able to finally make it by. But it's just good to see all the drivers out here, Carl. It's we see them each week, but obviously separate, and kind of put them together. Obviously there's tons of other drivers out there that maybe they couldn't make it tonight, or just a time block that worked for them. But give them all a shout out as well, because they're the drivers that make CRN. It's not just one league. It's not just one driver. It's all of them. And I appreciate everybody that comes out every week and participates. Every time we talk to the drivers in the booth, it's nothing but love and support for CRN, and we will continue to support these leagues and put on the broadcast here and show their talents and skills the best we can. And as everything is as close as possible here right now, it's kind of hard for me to focus on one or even a group of people. So I'm just looking at some numbers between intervals here, kind of see where everybody's at. And this is one of the better groups on races on the track right now here between the 51, 18, and the 2. So, and this is for 12, 13,
12, 13,
yeah.
14th. Yeah, and without the drivers, there's no broadcast. I guess we could set up AI races and broadcast AI races. I'm not sure how fun that would be. And I'm sure the interviews would be a little bit robotic, for sure. But without the drivers, there's no league, and without the league owners, and certainly want to give all of them a shout out as well. As we mentioned before, we talked to Jim Dutton, owner of CSRL. Later on tonight, we're going to talk to Big Duke, David Duke, behind the YESCAR League, and not with us here tonight. UCRL's owner, Scott Bolster, and VVR's owner, Tim Lee. Certainly want to give them shout outs as well, and thank them for their continued support here of us and CRN. It's been fantastic out here broadcasting with all these different leagues. It's a lot more fun sometimes being in the booth than it is on the track. Let's be honest. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Again, if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. And as you can see, we got plenty of good drivers out here. This is just race number 1 here tonight here at Kansas, but we're under 10 laps to go right now. Again, we got a second race coming up later after this one. After we get some interviews done, we'll switch it over and we'll have the GT3s at Daytona, and certainly a lot of drivers gearing up for the iRacing Daytona 24 coming up here next month. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of good racing there. But Jimmy, we got to finish this one up first. We're down to 6 laps to go, and man, throw a blanket over the top 2. You've seen it all night long. It is Craig Jancic and Alan Elwood. Neither of them want to give this thing up.
Only a few laps remaining here for Alan Elwood to kind of get back around Craig Jancic, and these two continue to battle back and forth, and it's good to see them out there. It's good to see them battling. It's clean and green for these drivers 99.9% of the time, and the battles are just insane. And not only these two drivers, but everybody else out there as well. But right now, this is for the win here. 5 laps to go. Craig Jancic has it. Alan Elwood wants it. Nico Garcia wants them to get into each other and wreck so he can take it. There's anything that can happen. Christopher Hamilton is just hoping that he can get to P number 2.
What a crossover here from Jancic. Dip into the inside. Touching side by side. No love lost here. And if you think this is good right here, oh, by the way, a little shameful plug here. Why not? The Core Xfinity Series Championship up again on Tuesday night. And 2 of these drivers right here, well, actually all 3, as Nico Garcia is there as well, all going to be fighting it out for the Gold Division Championship. And you see how close the racing is here on track as Elwood gets into the wall. Going to give Jancic another chance to catch back up. We got 3 laps to go. I want about 300 more of this.
I think they can feel it now. Only 3 laps remaining, and everybody's been doing great so far. Only that first caution there at the beginning, just by just a simple mistake, but that got ironed out quickly as we got back under green, and here we are. Almost 47 laps later, 3 laps remaining here. Alan Elwood over Craig Jancic, Nico Garcia in 3rd, Christopher Hamilton's there in P number 4, Dalton Kilrose in 5th, Dave Tilford's in 6th, Grady Gherkin, Tyler Browning, Dominic Ford, and John Crane for your top 10.
And just a reminder, there is money on the line as well for drivers. They weren't told directly. They were told that there was going to be some money on the line, and It's going to be $25 to the winner of each of these races here tonight, $15 for second, and another $10 for third. But then there's also going to be a raffle with all of the drivers here in attendance. They're going to be all put in a raffle, and 5 of them will go home with an additional $10 here. But we're about to crown the winner of the first race here. White flag in the air. It's been a heck of a race. We had one early caution, but since then it has been lean, it has been green, and well, paper and entry has been a bit mean. But it's come down to 2 drivers here racing it out for the end here. Alan Elwood's got the lead. Craig Jancic dives down to the inside, trying to get a bit of a run, but Elwood looks like he's gonna get the drive off, and indeed, Alan Elwood gonna be your winner of the CRN Cup oval race here tonight. Not for a lack of effort. Nico Garcia sliding through the grass. It looks like he's gonna come across just in front of Chris Hamilton and finish in third as we get some action after the flag. Don't worry, these guys aren't going to lose any bonus points for not having a clean race after that, but what a heck of a race right there to the line. Alan Elwood gets it done. Craig Jancic, Nico Garcia for your top 3. Hamilton, Kilroe are going to round out your top 5, and then Tilford, Gherkin, Bryan, Ford, and Caldwell going to round out the top 10. I'll get to work on the points, but I'm also going to bring in the top 3 for interviews after this one. Is certainly well deserved. That was a heck of a run, heck of a battle by all these drivers up front. But Jimmy, why don't you give us a full rundown while I catch my breath?
Yeah, as the drivers finish up here going down, we'll go ahead and get a rundown of where your favorite drivers finished here tonight. Let me get this ticker out of the way and bring those drivers up where they finished here tonight for this quick 50-lap race. But the results are as follows. For your first place finisher and winner tonight will be Alan Elwood, followed by Craig Jancic. Nico Garcia will be in 3rd place. Christopher Hamilton in 4th. Dalton Kilrose in 5th. Dave Tilford in 6th. Grady Gherkin in 7th. Tyler Bryan in 8th. Dominique Fords in 9th. Maxwell Caldwell in 10th, John Crane in 11th, Jake Lesh in 12th, Todd Merkles in 13th, Tim Glass in 14th, Ricky Renner in back there in 15th, Kevin Foster in 16th, Nathan Nickerson in 17th, Joe Thomas will be in your top 18, and then to the rest of the field. Mason Smith will be 19th. Michael Pratt finishes in 20th. Avi Vishervasim in 21st. James Malino back there in 22nd. Joe Sullivan in 23rd. Jack Stoneman in 24th. Andrew Palesci in 25th. Anthony Jenkins in 26th. 27th will be Robert Knox. 28th, Alexander Hamrick. And then 29 will be Jeremy Gainey, Tyler Skozen, and slacker Carl Hanwerk finishes last.
I couldn't find the pace out there tonight, Jimmy. I don't know what to tell you.
We don't want Carl on track, all right? He's you should hear him on the radio. No, I'm just kidding. Either way, these guys did a great job tonight. It was fun to watch. Hopefully everybody had some fun. Waiting to talk to the finishers here tonight before we move on to the next one. But definitely great race. Great to see everybody out here. Great to see the fans out there chit-chatting in the chat. I always appreciate it. Barry, Frank, the Ray Review. Thanks for all stopping by. I really appreciate you stopping by, supporting all the drivers and all the leagues.
Absolutely. That was certainly a fun one out there. And we'll go ahead and start bringing in these drivers. And we'll start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take 3rd place in the CRN Cup oval race, and typically you see him in the number 1. You see him on the number 1 on the track. That is Nico Garcia.
Hey, Nico Garcia, Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. Copy.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, it seems like it's been a little while since we've talked to you, but you had a pretty good run out there in the number 1, finished in P number 3. Kind of give us a rundown on how your night was.
Yeah, not bad. I haven't driven these cars since the update, and I pancaked the wall coming out of 4, and I broke something. I think I broke, I don't know, maybe a tie rod or something. I just couldn't get the thing to steer afterwards. I couldn't get it to turn in. So Alan and Craig kind of just pulled away, but it was fun. I mean, it's good racing. We have that championship race on Tuesday, and hopefully that's a different story on my end. Hopefully I'm talking to you guys last with a trophy in my hand. But no, tonight was fun, man. Tonight was a good time. Really, it was a clean race. One caution. Like, I wasn't really expecting that. I told Alan, I'm like, I think we might have a few cautions here, but only one caution, so I'll take it. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely a lot of different drivers from a lot of different series. You got oval drivers, you have road racers out there tonight. So the mix of all the different types of drivers that come out here, and maybe a car they're not used to or something that they don't drive every week is and to see that only one simple caution in the beginning is just great, and a testament to all the drivers out there, and just the camaraderie that they have with each other, and the respect for for each other as well, just to come out here and have some fun tonight. So again, want to say congratulations on that third place finish, and give you a little bit of time for any shout outs you may have on that number one.
For sure. Yeah. Always big shout outs to EDE and the guys at the EDE team. The best group of guys you could be around, and they've always taken good care of me. Cinematic Market, cars look great every week just because of them. So thanks to them. Big shout out to Roderick Racing Development. AJ's an awesome guy, and very supportive. You guys up in the booth, obviously putting this on tonight. This next race is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully I don't end up on my roof, but no, I mean, that's it. You guys, just appreciate you guys a lot, what you guys do.
All right, Nico, again, congratulations on that third place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate and get ready for that next race.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that is your third place finisher here tonight. Excuse me. In the oval race, that is Nico Garcia. Second place tonight is going to be the 3 of Craig Jancic. 3 on the time and score, 97 on the car. Craig, I guess maybe a little bit of a preview for Tuesday night coming up here at Auto Club for the Xfinity finale. But, man, heck of a race between you and Alan. Once again, you guys weren't separated by anything all night, and back and forth probably about, 97 lead changes in between those 50 laps.
That's why I picked 97 as the car, brother. Hey, it's always a pleasure to go door to door with Alan. I'd like to think that we gave him this one so that Tuesday has a little bit of an opposite outcome. You know what I'm saying? But really, really tough to drive out here. Just nearly undrivable, to be honest. Kudos to the field, especially the guys that don't main oval, for keeping themselves together. One caution for a race like this is I don't think you do that good in official racing. So really, really good stuff out here. Really, really good fight. Hard fight with contact, just like you expect to see in the real Xfinity series, which these cars were as fast as Xfinity Internet. And we were able to come home just a couple tenths short. He read my mind going into 3 there on the last lap, and I don't believe in moving somebody for the win, and we'll stick to that.
Well, I mean, it was a heck of a run out there, and a special event here tonight. Really nothing on the line other than some money in the line. So you're going to be taking home some money for the second place finish here tonight. I know you got one more, and
incredible.
I'm sure the one you're probably looking forward to maybe even more is the GT3s at Daytona coming up next.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I know that there's a few of the heavy hitters that I don't always get to race with here in this, so I'm excited to see how I stack up against them. And I'm just really honored to be a part of this. Shout out to all you guys at Core for putting something like this on. This is a genius idea. I don't know why more channels don't take advantage of something like this. Really draws up some good viewership and some good attendance. So really, really fun event. I think that you have telegraphed that I'm a little bit more excited for this particular event here tonight. Right now, I should say, to show some right turn prowess too.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on the second place. Before we let you go and get ready for this GT3 race, who you got to shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, primary shout out to you guys, Core Racing Network. Thank you so much for all you do. It's just an honor to be represented on your broadcasts. Thanks to everybody that showed up here tonight in the stands and on the track. Team Conti Sim Performance, Digital 3 Studio, Digital Sim Sports Studio 3, Free Beer and Hot Wings Morning Show. Aunt Sandy, Anna, Mom, Dad, thank you for watching me and supporting me as well. Cheers, and we'll see you. Hopefully I get to talk to you a second time.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, where can I collect that free beer and hot wings?
Yes, listen, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern at freebeerandhotwings.com.
There you go.
All right, buddy. Congrats on the second place, and we'll see you coming up here real soon.
Cheers. See ya.
That is your second place finisher here tonight in the CRN Cup Oval Race, the 97 of Craig Jancic. Your winner here tonight, Jimmy, is going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood.
Mr. Alan Elwood, Jimmy and Carl out in the booth. You copy?
I got you guys.
Hey, it's not you're no stranger to being up here in the booth, that's for sure. And tonight, again, no huge surprise, but you definitely had your hands full with Craig back there trying to steal your thunder. And me and Carl are kind of talking up here. Is this a preview of what's to come next Tuesday?
I tell you, I had to work for that one, huh? That was a great race with Craig. Just a lot of fun. I think he maybe touched on it. The car is very difficult to drive. Not expecting that going into it tonight. It just hanging out that right rear, and you guys probably saw it watching us tagging the wall. I guess it was whoever took the right rear off first was the loser. So, but ultimately, it obviously came down to the final turn, and I knew. I told him, I was like, I was just kind of guessing. I figured that he was probably going to dive it in there. So I felt like the bottom was probably the safe bet instead of trying to ride the top because that bit me before. But yeah, just a really fun race. Good, clean stuff. And yeah, maybe it probably will be a precursor to Tuesday, hopefully.
Well, if this is the case, the outcome could be in your favor, but I'm sure Craig might want it the other way around with his car in front of yours. So, but I'm looking forward to not only Tuesday night, but tonight was a great one to watch here between yourself and Craig, as well as the other drivers throughout the field. So again, congratulations on the win here tonight. And just kind of just want to say congratulations. Obviously, everything that you do here for CRN, and give you a little bit of time for any shouts on that number 5.
Yeah. First off, of course, Simrat Market, as always. Roderick Racing Development, the whole team here at EDE. Nico had a good showing tonight. I'm not sure if he brushed the wall or something happened to his car, but he had a really good run tonight going as well. Everybody here in the race tonight, obviously clean. We were able to get some green flag stops and really bring that to the forefront, which is great. It's always good to have green flag stops in this type of situation. Have some fun with it. Because we know in league racing that doesn't always happen, so good to have that tonight. Of course, you guys up here in the booth, and appreciate you guys putting on the event. Of course, with all these leagues coming together, no matter who shows up, it's a good time. Glad this happens, and I look forward to the next one whenever we get to do that. And of course, you guys here doing the broadcast, and everybody at the league, core, and just everybody involved. It's a really fun experience, and I'm looking forward to the road race. We'll see if we can get some laps in, maybe do a little test and tune for the 24.
Yeah, a little bit of testing for that 24. I'm sure a lot of drivers are going to be looking forward to it. But again, congratulations on that win here tonight, and we'll look forward to maybe talking to you again if you can manage to best out some of them. I guess so to say, road specialists out there. So we'll see what you got to match up with them, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again.
Hey, well, I tell you, Craig leaving here, he probably feels much better about his chances than I do mine. So I got some speed, but I know I'm not Craig or Dom Ford or any of those guys. Whatever. I'm just going to run some laps and have fun.
Well, you enjoy your laps out there, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again.
Thanks, guys.
That is your winner here tonight of the CRN Cup Oval Race at Kansas. Alan Elwood doing a heck of a job, and man, he had to work for it every little bit there. What a race. A great run for everybody out there. Just give a quick rundown of the top 10 again. Alan Elwood, Craig Jancic, Nico Garcia, Chris Hamilton, Dalton Kilroe for your top 5. David Tilford, Grady Gherkin, Tyler Bryan, Dominique Ford, and Maxwell Caldwell rounding out your top 10. We're going to take a short little break. We're going to step away for a second, get everything set up for this second race. Don't go anywhere unless you need to grab yourself a drink, grab yourself another snack, take a little potty break. But we got 30 more minutes of racing still to come, with 30 minutes at Daytona with the GT3. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Just going to mute everything. So you might see some stuff going on, get some behind the scenes look at me switching everything around, but we'll be right back.
welcome back, race fans. Thank you for tuning in. If you just tuned in, we had quite of a heck of a race in the first race here tonight for the CRN Cup at Xfinity, or at Kansas with the Xfinity, and it was won by Alan Elwood, but just barely over Craig Jancic. Now we switch it up here a little bit, and we go a little road racing here at Daytona with the GT3s. A lot of these drivers, again, getting ready for that iRacing 24 hours of Daytona coming up very soon, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of trying to test their mettle, and another good-sized field out here, looking close to 20 or 28, 30 cars once again, so I'm expecting this to be another good one here tonight for race number 2 of the CRN Cup. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in one of the men behind the curtain, and the one that's behind the curtain of the YESCAR series, and that is David Duke, also known as Big Duke. David, we got you here in the booth. Just want to bring in here real quickly. I see you're going to be able to just barely make it here for this road race. It was a heck of a oval race that unfortunately you had to miss here tonight, but I'm sure it's going to be just as good here on the road. Owner and man behind the curtain, obviously, I know you got players there with you for YESCAR, but when you bring you in here and give you a chance to talk about the YESCAR series, obviously it was that we just had and just finished up with you guys, but you got some stuff that you're doing right now in the meantime, and then you got some stuff coming up here for 2025.
Yeah, I am. It's all been thrown together pretty quickly, but I'm running hosted sessions each night where we have a weekly points championship. Each hosted session gets loaded into Sim Racer Hub, and I keep the points. Giving away free merch from my website, keepdigging.square.site, and raceyescar.com, which we haven't launched the website yet, but it's close. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Got a 3D league coming up, which is going to be nothing but green-white checkers, 10-minute practice green-white checker. Going to call it the Defend, Deny, Dispose League. Only green-white checkers. We're going to have a good time. Got a lot of stuff coming up, though. Thanks for having us out, though.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. I know we got a couple of your drivers out there in the first race. Looks like you got maybe obviously yourself out here. Trying to see. I know we had Tyler Bryan out for the first one. I didn't see Paul Lawson, but you get to get out here. Are you planning on running the Daytona 20? Are you gonna get out there for the road racing?
Got to get my license rating up, but yes. That's
all right, buddy.
Like I gotta get above a D. I'm not a road guy, man. Like I've been getting better. I've been practicing this week. With this week 14, I've been hitting the prototype stuff and the road stuff quite a bit. But man, I really need to focus on that and get my C license, so that way I can run those things.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go ahead and let you get in the car. I know you guys are gridding up. Good luck out there, and certainly look forward to what you guys got on the horizon for 2025, and we can jump on board with you, because it was certainly fun doing the truck series with you guys. So thanks once again. And before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, obviously you guys at Core here for putting this on tonight. Thank you very much. Bringing some exposure to the community. That's great. And KeithSaysYes.com. Any used or new car needs that you have, go to KeithSaysYes.com. Mention the Big Duke stream. We're gonna save you $1,000. Nationwide delivery. Thank you, Core.
All right, thanks, buddy. Good luck out there, and you never know. Maybe you sneak yourself up here and get into the booth once again. That is the man behind the curtain there for YESCAR. That is Big Duke. His actual name David Duke, but everybody knows him by Big Duke, and certainly check out his stream, as he's got all kinds of stuff always going on for that one. But Jimmy, we've got 29 cars ready to take action here tonight. You want to give us a quick rundown?
Yeah, quick rundown here at Daytona, and it's going to be Craig Jancic on the pole here tonight, so definitely showing speed out there, something to kind of prove, maybe try to pull away a win instead of a second place. Christopher Hamilton will be in P number 2, Ricky Renner, Anthony Jenkins, Mason Smith for your top 5, Dominic Ford, Nico Garcia, Maxwell Calva, Albie Vishwavasan, Nathan Nickerson, top 10, Andrew Pileshi, Dave Tilford, Dalton Kilroe, Braden Carlson, Grady Gherkin, Joe Sullivan, Kevin Foster, Jake Lesh for your top 18. And then back there you get Todd Merkel, Joshua Dillow, Tim Glass, John Crane, Alan Elwood, Big Duke, Joe Thomas, Jim Dunton, Alan Golson, Alexander Hamrick, and James Malino for your 29 drivers here tonight. So definitely, if you'd like to see where everybody at, this is going to be a tough one here. And a long one here for these drivers. It's always a fun race to watch these guys at run Daytona. Everybody's getting ready for that big old 24 hours of Daytona to be coming up here very shortly. And that's what we were talking about. And you heard Big Duke talk about getting his license up so he can participate. But we're getting ready to go into green as Jancic will lead the field down into turn number 1.
We are indeed racing here. 30 minutes on tap. It's just a quick 30-minute race here. It's going to go by very quick for these drivers. Again, they're gearing up for 24 straight hours. Now, granted, you're doing that as a team. You're doing that usually with minimum, 3 other guys, if not, 5 other guys. It's usually a pretty big size team, and we already got some big action here heading into the hairpin. A ton of cars involved. This is certainly going to shake it up. Craig Jancic is going to get away. Dominique Ford in second. Abiy Vishwavasan, Dalton Kilrow, Grady Gherkin for your top 5, but a lot of heavy hitters taken out in this one right away, as it looks like Paleshi involved, Nico Garcia, Big Duke. I think I've seen Chris Hamilton go sliding through there. It looks like Anthony Jenkins had to jump to the pits. Man, a lot of big names taken out right away in turn number 1.
Yeah, and that was actually coming out of 1 down in the International Horseshoes, they call it. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. It wasn't 1. It wasn't 1.
They
It
made
feels
it
like
through
turn
1.
1.
It feels like turn 1 because that's
I
where
guess since
everybody.
I've seen a bunch of wrecking, I just assumed it was turn 1.
Yeah, they made it through turn 1. Okay, International Horseshoe, not so much. A heavy braking zone, low speed for that corner there for the International Horseshoe. It allows Craig Jancic to extend his lead out to almost 2 seconds, but Dominique Ford will be hot on his heels with no pressure behind him trying to catch him. But Abiy Vishwavasan, no stranger to running around these road courses, finds himself currently sitting in P number 3. So good job there by Abiy Vishwavasan. Then back to Dalton Kilrow back there in P number 4. Grady Gherkin moves 10 spots up to P number 5. And then Joe Sullivan's in 6. Jake Lesh, Kevin Foster, Todd Merkel, and Joshua all up there in that top 10. So a lot of crazy things going on right now as we see a couple drivers kind of falling back to the field. Tim Glass, Jim Dutton, John Crane back here with a good finish there. So doing their thing right now. Alan Elwood up to P number 14. So you can see how fast.
That was close.
Yeah, here coming down to that International Horseshoe again. Yep, down the International Horseshoe right here. So this is where they had all the issues, but managing to get around here, and you see a lot of drivers going a little bit wide there. These fixed setups do drive a little bit different, so unless you got some time in the car and understand how each car reacts, it can be real tricky for some of these corners.
Just give an update and let you know the points are official and wrapped up from race number 1 from the oval race. The winning team is going to be Core Xfinity with Alan Elwood getting the first place points, Nico Garcia getting 3rd place, and then John Crane finishing with an 11th place. That was enough to give them a total of 122 points and winning the oval event. In 2nd place is going to be VVR with Dalton Kilrow, Maxwell Caldwell, and Todd Markle claiming the 3 points there, getting them 94. 3rd place is going to be Core GT with 90 points. 4th was going to be CSRL with 8. 5th is UCRL with 84, and then YESCAR with Tyler Bryan getting the 34 points for them in race number 1. But race number 2 is certainly going to be shaking up quite a bit here. Obviously, Craig Jancic out there representing CSRL. He is in the lead. Dominique Ford in 2nd, representing Core GT. 3rd place, Dalton Kilrow representing VVR. 4th place, Joe Sullivan representing the Core Xfinity Series. Jake Lesh representing UCRL in 5th. So top 5 different leagues. So say what you want about the start of that race. It's given us something interesting to think about here.
Yeah, and some of them big hitters, get slid to the back, or maybe they decide to park for the night. Looks like Anthony Jenkins, Mason Smith, and Nico Garcia all going to call it quits as an early race incident takes them out here. And only being a 30-minute race, it's really hard to kind of come back. There's only local cautions for iRacing. They're not going to pull a big old yellow out, the full course caution here for a 30-minute race. So they decided to call it quits. Could see John Crane being able to call it pulling the win there for the last race, but now finds himself in the pits, so not going to do much good here for this one. But Craig Jancic right now out to a 1.6 second lead over Dominic Ford, and Dominic is continually slowing to track him down. Dalton Kilrow back there in P number 3, and then Jake Lesh is sitting there in P number 4, so doing a great job there in the Corvette. One of the only ones. Dominic Ford in the new Acura, Kevin Foster in the Ford in P number 6, and then Todd Merkel is in the Mercedes. So a little bit of everything out here. So you got a Ferrari out there, Alan Golson, a little banged up, but still out there running in P number 16. Got some BMW. We got at least one BMW out there with Joe Thomas. I don't know where he just went. I guess. Maxwell Caldwell's another one out there in the Ford. Tim Glass is in a Ford. Jake Lesh is in
looks
a
like
Chevy.
Todd Merkel just spun out there and going to drop out of the top 10, and it's certainly pretty cool. We talk about how each of these GT3 cars handle just a little bit differently. Obviously, a lot depends on where the engine placement is. If it's front engine, rear engine, mid engine, it's certainly going to handle differently for the different cars. But some have good top end, some are better cornering, some are better with the the tight little sections, some are better with the fast corners. It's all kind of driver preference, what you feel, and it's really track dependent. That's why you see a lot of the times in the core GT series and CSRL and some of the other GT leagues that are out there, you see guys switching weekly to what car kind of fits them. But I mean, and now with the Acura here that you're looking right now at Dominic Ford in second place, 10 different manufacturers that you can choose from. I mean, at this point, do you just put them on a wheel and spin it and then try and figure out which one you run? I mean, it's crazy.
I got one of those, when you're growing up, I know you have one. I had one when I was growing up, but they had barnyard animals, right? And you just pull the string and let it land on
Yes,
there.
exactly.
You just put the car manufacturers in those spots instead of the barnyard animals, and you just pull the cord, and that's how you choose.
So what is that? The crew chief says Acura.
Yeah.
I love it. There we go. More marketing right there. There we go. We'll start getting the CRN wheels out there to pick your car weekly for the GT series out here. But oh man, I love it. I love it. Well, it's been a good start here for Jancic as he enjoyed 1.5 second lead. Dominic Ford in second, Kilrow, Lesh, and Sullivan for your top 5. And let me back that up a second, because I said it before, and now the second time I said it, I mean, don't show him on screen because I don't want to jinx it, but Joe Sullivan in 5th. I mean,
let's go, Joe.
We expected to see that maybe in the oval race, because he certainly knows the oval race, but he's starting to test his mettle here on the GT side, and wow. All right. Maybe it's the number. Maybe he's just got to run the 27 a little bit more often. Well, either way, he's doing good. In front of the guy that he covered quite a bit last season, that is Jim Dutton. Typically, you're supposed to see the lights flashing, not the entire car flashing, but hopefully Jim's connection stays good there for him, as he came up just a little bit short in his attempt to get the AM championship last year in CSRL. Alan Elwood in 7th place. Kevin Foster, Grady Gergen, and Andrew Pileshi going to round out the top 10. But man, it's going to be difficult for me to work on these points after this race, as it is all kinds of shaken up with all the series represented out there. And again, it's just it's a fun event, and I wish we could do these more often. We do it typically twice a year, and we try and bring in all the series that we cover, and it's tough because they all run on different nights. And obviously we got Tuesday nights we got the Core Xfinity series and UCRL, the CSRL and YESCAR series, and then on Thursday nights we have the Core GT and Virtual Velocity Racing. So it's great for CRN. We got double headers 3 nights of the week once everything is up and fired up. But to get all these drivers out here, even on a night where they don't normally race, we're here on Sunday night. None of the series we cover are on Sunday night. So not easy to get a group of drivers out here together. So to get nearly 30 in both of these races is fantastic, and I love seeing all the names that were on the different nights during the week out here together.
Yeah, I mean it's gets a little confusing considering like certain nights of the week I'm like, all right, I'm talking about these people and this is what's going on and this is where the points sit for these series. But tonight's just all about fun, just kind of out here. Maybe an oval driver testing their road skills or just getting ready for that Daytona 24. So a little bit of practice with some traffic that's not going to hurt your safety rating and whatever it may be. But here right now we're on board with Dominique Ford as he chases down Craig Jancic. So both of these two drivers turn in 144.7s and not much separating them. The gap is slowly coming down as Dominique Ford has been one of the faster drivers in the Core GT series and definitely up against. I'm looking at some of the iRatings, and I know Craig's oval rating was fairly high, but so is his road. So 6K iRating driver in the road. So now no wonder why Craig was a little excited about getting out there and tossing around his experience for the road race and put him up against some of the drivers like Dominique Ford. So definitely a driver that has some speed and be welcome to maybe if he's free on those Thursday nights to come join us. But Dalton Kilrow back there in P number 3. Alan Elwood fast on the ovals, has some speed here on the road as well, sitting in P number 4, up 19 spots. Jim Dutton's back there and up 21 spots in 5th place. Joe Sullivan's up 10. See Alan Gullison, he's back here and 18th spot, but he's up 9 spots. So a lot of drivers moving up through, I guess taking big advantages of the incident early on. You see Alan check it up for the driver in front of him. I'm not quite sure what was that about, but down the middle of the stretch, but was able to keep it clean and keep it green here. We're 11 minutes in, and Craig Jancic is the current leader.
Craig obviously nearly getting it done on the oval race earlier here tonight, and had a heck of a fight with Alan Elwood, and no surprise to see both of them up into the top 5 here tonight. But it was certainly something that I had my eye on. Again, chance for all these drivers to get out here and just kind of let their hair down, have a little fun, race for a little bit of money on the line. Both races, the winners getting $25, second place getting 15, third place getting 10, and then all the drivers are going to get thrown in a hat, and 5 of them are going to get picked out to get another $10 on top of that. So a little bit of money on the line, but ultimately just out here to have a little bit of fun. But for me, if you want me to be a little greedy on this, it's a chance to see how these series match up against each other. Again, how on the oval side, how the Xfinity matches up against VVR, against UCRL, against YESCAR, and then when you get over here to the GT side of it, you get to see how CSRL matches up against the Core GT series, and even how some of these oval guys that maybe don't have that night off, but maybe are pretty good on the road side of it, see how they can get in the mix. And you see it. I mean, we got CSRL Craig Jancic leading it. We got the Core GT Dominique Ford in second, as we got a spin here by Todd Merkel here in 11th place, but in third place, Dalton Kilrow from VVR. Fourth place, Alan Elwood from the Xfinity Series. Fifth place, Jim Dutton from CSRL. So right now, CSRL running at 1-5. So certainly a good start and a good running for them. But again, it's the top 3 for each. It's the top 3 drivers for each series are what's going to score points here tonight. And looking down the order, looks like Chris Hamilton running in 9th place right now. So CSRL looking pretty good, pretty strong. 3 drivers inside the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it takes. We do, obviously, in knowing Core, at the end of the year, we do kind of like a driver's cup and make up a series of teams within the league, and we kind of do something similar, obviously, but we run each discipline
yeah.
and get out there and add up the points, and it's usually a good time. Everybody's coking and joking and just having a good time, and it gets a little chaotic sometimes, what track to be on, where it's at, what's the rules, all that stuff. It kind of gets all over the place, but at the end of the night, it's just it ends up being a fun time, and it all irons itself out, and it's just for fun. So it's just another good way to get the drivers together an off night, just where points they matter, but they don't. And then so tonight here, they're just like you said, the drivers get to let their hair down, practice a little bit, and get some good laps in here at Daytona with some traffic. And you can see someone here trying to make these passes work.
Chris Hamilton all over the backside of Kevin Foster. Kevin's going to give him a little bit of room here. And yeah, not fully announced yet to the league here in Core, but both going to be broadcasted coming up here in the near future over the holidays. On December 29th is going to be the King of Core playoffs. So the top 50 drivers from all of Core are going to be invited to compete for the King of the Road, the King of the Oval, and then ultimately for the King of Core for 2025 or 2024. And then on January 5th is going to be the aforementioned Drivers' Cup, and that's an event where everyone that has turned a lap in Core for the second half of 2024 is invited to that event. There's going to be 4 races in total. The Dirt Oval is going to be the Mini Stocks of the USA. There's going to be the GR86 at Snetterton. Dirt Road is going to be the Pro 2 Lights at Wild West, and then the Oval is going to be the Spec Racer Ford. But I think the best part of it is it's kind of like it is here tonight. It's team events. We got captains that are going to draft their teams for the event, and it's fun. Usually the captains, put a little scratch on the table, and it gets given out to the winner, and they can divvy it up with their team, or they can just be greedy and they can be like real team owners and just keep all the money for themselves. But either way, it's fun. But I'll tell you what's going to be fun here real soon is the battle for the lead. Craig Jancik's lead has gone. Dominic Ford has got that Acura tuned in. And you better tune into this battle right here because it is on.
Definitely on like Donkey Kong between these two drivers. I don't know if I call cut off on there for a second, but Dom's going to go ahead and start putting some pressure on as he did get the fastest lap of the race right now. Right there, as you can see on your screen in purple with a 144.420, closing that gap, and now he's in that draft. So now Craig Jancik has to do his best in order to fend off a hard charging Dominic Ford and that brand new Acura that iRacing just came out with, but like a week ago at Max. So it definitely makes things interesting. Like Carl was saying, there's 10 different manufacturers out there we can choose from to kind of get out there and run our race with, but the Acura being the newest of the crowd right now. So a lot of cars of finally getting updates. The McLaren was recent. We had the Corvette and the new Ford Mustang out there as well. Porsche was updated not too long ago. Lambo was not too old. I think the Mercedes was even updated. So I think all the cars are pretty close to being updated. Obviously, updates will be happening all the time. That's how iRacing keeps things fresh. You can probably tell in maybe some of the graphics. The cars look a little more shiny, a little bit smoother out there. I haven't touched anything on my settings, but they definitely do look a little bit better. I might have to actually tweak things just a little bit and see if I can raise it even higher with my current gear that I have. But definitely looks really good here, and I'm excited for the upcoming year after the holidays and to broadcast some of these leagues here with whatever series they decide to run. But right now it's Craig Jancik out front over Dominic Ford. Dalton Kilrose sitting there in P number 3. Alan Elwood's going to be there in P number 4, and then Jim Dutton back there in P number 5. Joe Sullivan is in P number 6, followed by Andrew Pileshi there in P number 7. Christopher Hamilton being there in P number 8. Grady Gherkin up to P number 9. Dave Tilford is in 10th. And then you got Todd Merkel, Avi Fisher-Bassam, Maxwell Caldwell, Braden Carlson, Jake Lesh for your top 15. Same Glass, Kevin Foster, Alan Golson, Joshua, Alexander Hamrick for your top 20. Then Nathan Nickerson, Ricky Renner, John Crane, James Malno, Big Duke, Joe Thomas, Anthony Jenkins, Mason Smith, and Nico Garcia for your 29 drivers.
Yeah, it looks like we still got 23 drivers still out there on the track, as a few of them had the early exit from the first lap incident going into the International Horseshoe. and certainly taking out quite a few of the big names here, but some of them coming into the pits and getting back out there and still running some good races. Chris Hamilton, one of them involved pretty heavily. He's back out there all the way up in the 8th position. Dave Topher, another one involved. He's up in the top 10. Vishwavasan, Caldwell, Carlson all have been into pit road and all back out there in 12th, 13th, and 14th. And Kevin Foster just recently in pit lane, and it's one of the things that I kind of wondered about is, will these guys be able to make it the 30 minutes here on fuel, because it's only a half a tank in these cars, so it's going to be, I think, pretty close. And now we see Grady Gherkin from inside the top 10. He is going to come down into pit road, and he's got some heavy damage on the front. Not sure if he just got that, or if if that's why he's coming to the pits here, if he's coming into to get some gas to make it to the end. But again, these drivers going to have that one fast repair. You see him getting it nice and cleaned up there, and he'll get back out there. But yeah, I don't know, Jimmy. I mean, 30 minutes here with a half a tank at Daytona. I feel like the typical tank usually lasts around 55 minutes or so. So it's going to be cutting it close here for a 30-minute race.
Yeah, it's definitely something that some of these drivers will be looking forward. You can see Dominic Ford all over the back bumper of Craig Jancic. They'll look for the shake and bake, or just pushing each other around, kind of making that rear end of that Porsche unstable. But they're heading down across the start-finish line now, down in turn number 1. You can see Dominic Ford looking a little bit on the wide side, but not going to be able to make it work. He's going to fall in behind as they head down to turn number 1, down through a couple of S's, and then down to the International Horseshoe. Again, it's a slow turn. You got to get down, hit that apex, easy on the throttle on the way out so you don't wash wide, and then down nice straight shoot there towards the kink, and then down to turn number 7, which is I absolutely hate. Found myself many races going off into the grass on the exit right there. And then back on the straightaway here down to get down to that shoot straight shot down to the bus stop, which is always fun. So definitely a lot of fun, a lot of laps on this track myself, especially in the GT cars, whether it's the GT3 cars, LMP2s, even did a Daytona 24 in the GTP, which was a lot of fun last year. So we're looking forward to repeat next year. Start making plans with some teammates and see what races we want to run and what cars, and just looking forward to 2025 in general.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a league to run in 2025, again, you can check out the description below the video here, and it'll give you the league ID for all 6 of the core. Both the core leagues are going to have the same league ID and Discord, but you even got the Discord links for CSRL, for UCRL, VVR, and for YESCAR to get into any of those leagues. If you have any questions about any of them, you can certainly reach out to either of us or anybody in the CRN family, and we'll get you in touch with the right people to get you in there. As all the leagues that we cover, I mean, I know it's probably me being biased and shining up things, but I think they're all great. I think it's all great racing that we cover here in CRN, and it makes the broadcasting that much easier. I mean, it's one thing if we just get out here and it's one car dominating, or it stretches out and there's 3 cars that are the only ones to really watch. I mean, every race that it seems like that we put on, there's some kind of storylines, as Joe Sullivan always likes to put, especially when it comes to CSRL. He's always looking for the storylines. VVR had a great. They had it's a year-long season for them, so they were basically the other NASCAR schedule with their series. The YESCAR, it was certainly a different format that we've seen this year with the truck series, and they put on a heck of a race that went all the way down to the final race. UCRL, and unfortunately numbers dwindled a little bit at the end of the season, but they got so many great drivers in there, and just I think schedules just kind of didn't match up this season. And when they do, they put on one heck of a product. And you want green flag racing at CSRL, where you want to be. I mean, it's usually a lot of green flag oval racing there, and then of course the Core Xfinity series doing really well. Going to be finishing up this week on Tuesday night for the championship race, and all 3 divisions are going to be fantastic. the silver and division champions being crowned on Tuesday, and then the Core GT Series going to end this week as well with their 2-hour season finale at the Red Bull Ring, and certainly real tight in some of those points battles as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I think actually all three are still within reach, so the Gold Division not officially locked up yet. So still got some great racing coming up before the end of the year on CRN this week, and then again tune in later on in the year during the holidays. We'll have the special events. We kick everything back off in 2025 and bring some of these series back on air once again. But we are coming down to the last 5 minutes of the race here, last 5 minutes of the CRN Cup. It's still extremely tight for the lead, and I think it's pretty tight overall for these points as well. Certainly CSRL looking pretty good, but I'm seeing a lot more drivers coming to the pits. Jimmy, I don't know if anybody's going to try and stretch this thing out or not, and I'm wondering if maybe that's why the lead for Jancic, you know, kind of came back a little bit to Dominic Ford. I'm not sure if it was Ford running those fast laps, or maybe if it was Jancic kind of holding off here a little bit, or maybe Dom is holding off and gaining at the same time. So never know. We're going to see what happens here in the last 5.
Yeah, saving fuel is an art. You know, it's not. It's a lot to do with like your throttle position. So you know, you get behind somebody, and you know, right here where Dominic Ford doesn't need to have 100% to go as fast as Jansen. So, and he's just hugging that bumper. You know, Dom could be using 85%, and Jancic's doing all the work. But they're coming into the pits right now. Dominic with a nice tight entry there, going down to that inside lane to avoid any kind of car damage from Jancic, and that's sometimes a smart move when you're coming down multiple cars. Trying to get the best entry, but two good entry by two fast drivers. See, they're down in the pits. Doesn't look like any tires for Jancic or Ford. Ford already in and out. So what is the holdup with Jancic? Could be a big mistake here for the number 97, as he's still sitting in the pits. Dominic Ford is out, and it's looking he should take over the lead, but Christopher Hamilton is out there right now, currently in P number 2. Did he get enough time in order to run a little bit longer? Does he have 3 minutes? Does he have 2 laps?
Well, I think what happened is we got a penalty for Jancic. He is still in pit road and losing positions as we speak. I think he came in a little bit hot, got an unsafe entry, or some kind of penalty on pit road, because his pit stop was about 40 seconds longer than it should be, and that smells like a pit road penalty. So that is going to take him now down to 7th place, still coming out of the pits right now. So it's going to drop him way down in the running order right now. So CSRL's hopes of getting the win here may fall in the hands of Chris Hamilton, but he's 10 seconds behind Dominic Ford. He was involved in an early incident. Does he have enough fuel? Because again, he pit on lap number 1 after getting involved in that incident. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see if that 64 can make it all the way to the end and finish in 2nd place. Alan Elwood currently sitting in 3rd. I mean, if something happens to Ford that he doesn't make it on fuel, if Hamilton doesn't make it, can Elwood pull off the double here tonight and win both races? Dalton Kilroe doing a good job running in 4th place, and not really losing too much time to these guys up front either. Dave Tilford now in 5th, Jim Dutton in 6th, ahead of Craig Jancic in 7th.
Yes, everybody doing a fantastic job. Then back there in 8th is Andrew Gillespie, running in the Ford machine back here. Just been kind of quiet, but working his way up through the field. And Christopher Hamilton will come down pit lane here with only 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. So only probably a lap shy here for tonight. But Dominic Ford has made that stop. He has got a commanding lead, about 32 seconds over Alan Elwood. And then Dalton Kilroe and Dave Tilford now in P number 5, fighting Dalton Kilroe, looking down to the inside.
Certainly not what Frank Pisano and Bryce Reiner wanted to see, as their guy running in the lead, Craig Jancic, having the pit road penalty, and now Chris Hamilton having to drop down in the pits as well. So both of them are going to be back half of the top 10, but still all three in the top 10. Currently running 5th with Jim Dutton, 6th with Craig Jancic, and 8th with Chris Hamilton. So still running very, very well. But up at the front, it is Core GT driver Dominique Ford leading the way. Core Xfinity Series driver Alan Elwood in 2nd. Core GT Dave Tilford in 3rd. VVR Dalton Kilroe in 4th. So a couple Core GTs at the front, as I think that was Todd Merkel. Just, I guess that was his bus stop right there. He had to pull off to the side. But either way, coming around the final corners here, it is going to be Dominique Ford getting it done here. He had a heck of a pit entry. It's going to take him to the win here tonight. Dominique Ford, your winner of the CRN Cup road race. Second place, just coming through the bus stop right now, 33 seconds behind. It doesn't matter. It's going to be enough for a second place. Elwood's just got to get it to the line, and he's going to come home with a first and a second here tonight. Got to feel good. I know Elwood used to run with CSRL back a couple seasons ago, and I think the schedules just didn't match up for him anymore, and he's been out here in the Core Xfinity Series with us and certainly putting some dominating races in. He's going to come home in second here tonight. Dave Tilford, good run for him. Going to come home in third. Looks like barely, as Jim Dutton going to come home in fourth. That was close. Not sure if Tilford maybe didn't have enough fuel coming down to the end right there.
Yes, yeah. Andrew Gillespie in fifth. Craig Jancic will finish in sixth. Christopher Hamilton finishes in seventh. Dalton Kilroe cross.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
He finishes in eighth. Avi Fisher-Vossen with a top time, 10 and ninth. Braden Carlson in 10th. Joe Sullivan will finish in 11th. Maxwell Caldwell in 12th. Kevin Foster in 13th. Grady Gherkin will be in 14th. Jake Lesh in 15th. Ricky Renner will finish in 16th. Nathan Nickerson in 17th. Alan Coulson in there in 18th. Todd Merkel's in 19th. After nosing it there in the bus stop, I can just feel the shivers on my spine with my direct drive. Tim Glass in 20th. Joshua finishes in 21st. John Crane in 22nd. James Malino will be in 23rd. Alexander Hamrick in 24th. Joe Thomas in 25th. Big Duke will finish back in 26th. 27th will be Anthony Jenkins. Mason Smith, rough start there, finishing in 28th. Nico Garcia in 29th. So some heavy hitters not catching the break they wanted early on there on lap one. But definitely gave the opportunity for some other drivers for some great finishes. Biggest mover of the night will be Jim Dutton with 22 spots. Is finishing in P number 4.
I'm going to go ahead and get these results all figured out to see who is the winning team for the road race. But in the meantime, we got our top 3 finishers here tonight, and we'll bring them in here in a second. But heck of a race. I mean, again, it was a big kerfuffle, if you will, in the first lap there. Not into turn 1, into the international horseshoe. I should know that by now. It felt like turn number 1. It feels like usually, unless you have, well, for lack of better words, unless you have morons out there, you're going to make it through turn 1 there at Daytona. It's the international horseshoe that kind of really is your unofficial turn number 1. It's your first, real hard braking zone, because you're starting right there by the start finish line, so you're not really braking too hard for the actual turn number 1. But when you get to that international horseshoe, it's your first chance to really kind of get in there if you think you can get a position or not. And certainly a big old mix up there took out quite a few top names there tonight. But we still got a heck of a race in here for the half hours, and it's about time to bring in these 3 for the interview. So third place here tonight is going to be the 12 of David Tilford. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our third place finisher here tonight?
Hey, Dave, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
I got you guys.
Hey, no stranger to being out there on the road courses, of course, and you kind of make out there in the beginning and not getting involved or too involved in that huge calamity there in the international horseshoe, allowing you to finish in third place here tonight. So what kind of strategy did you have going into this race, and were you happy with the results?
I wouldn't say I didn't get involved because I was wrecked before that.
Before
it
that.
all happened at the same time in the little kink there. Nickerson just hit that curb and pretty much just spun right in front of me and collected me. So I had to pit after lap 1, and I was along with that group that all crashed in the horseshoe. Then it was just a matter of trying to save just enough fuel to get to the end, and I did. I ran out with probably a quarter mile left, and just barely made it across the line. I think 0.2 in front of Jim. So yeah, I can't be too unhappy with the result. But that was a little bit unfortunate at the beginning that I couldn't be up there with the leaders. Did Dom end up making a pit stop then?
Yeah, Dominic Ford, he did make a pit stop and made it clean and free, and was able to come away with a win here tonight.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so everyone pretty much had to pit. No one was going to be able to make it till the end anyway. So that kind of makes me pretty happy with where I was at, considering I had to fuel save and I had to, I was wrecked and far behind the field. So coming back from that, I can't be upset with that at all.
No, definitely can't be upset with a third place finish at a very popular track, and obviously can be tricky at times. And I think a lot of times drivers get a little overconfident and try to drive the cars just a little bit too hard. But good drive back there. Watching now on screen, getting involved there with the 5-year incident there. So at least you were able to fuel save and have that Acura finish up there in that top 3 and finish or complete the night with a great showing. But we just want to say congratulations. Glad you had a good time. We're able to walk away with a good finish and give you some time for any shouts there on number 12.
Yeah, well, it's a good night anytime I can come up to the booth and talk to you guys. So shout out to you guys in the booth for putting this event on, and definitely an enjoyable evening. And shout out to my family for letting me do this pretty often, and just to everyone who showed up, all the leagues coming together and having a little bit of fun together and some competition. So shout out to all the guys in CRN Nation that you guys cover, and hope this just kicks off next season and next year with a bang.
Yeah, I really appreciate the shouts there, Dave, and look forward to having you up in the booth again, and maybe calling some races with us as normal. And then a shout out to yourself there for everything that you do for the Core Racing League, and everybody else out there. I'm sure they're giving you some props out there for a lot of the things that you do as well. So, but good run here tonight. Congratulations on that third place finish, and we'll let you go and celebrate.
All right, appreciate it, gentlemen. Have a good one.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 12 of David Tilford. Second place, I feel like we just got done talking to him after the win in the oval race. Well, he's back for a little bit more action here, back for some more shout-outs. The 24 here in the road race, Alan Elwood. Alan, this one kind of came to you a little bit. I mean, you're certainly no slouch to the road racing. I know a couple seasons back you were out there with the CSRL boys, and the schedule's maybe just not working out right now, but you get to dip back out there on the road. Come away with a second place here tonight. First of all, what was it like on the first lap there? A little calamity going into the International Horseshoe. Were you able to survive? Were you able to weave your way through there, or do you have some issues?
Yeah, well, I also don't take back what I said at the end of the last interview. I don't know how I'm here. Other than there was a lot of chaos on lap 1, and I benefited a ton. But you know what? That's racing. First lap was pretty chaotic, and I'll be honest, this was the first laps I ever turned in this GT3 car. I, of course, ran GT3 before, but I haven't ran any Acura laps. So literally hopping in for like 10 minutes of practice and then trying to throw down a qualifying lap, I botched it in the horse or the bus stop. So I didn't get down a lap, and then all that chaos and calamity going on lap 1, I thought for sure, Nico got caught up in it, and I thought for sure I was going to as well. I had to stop for somebody, back up and then get around them. But after that, everything was pretty clean. Of course, taking advantage of some others' misfortune along the way as well. But I felt like as the race went on, I was really kind of starting to understand the car. The Acura is very understeery. Like, I did not realize how bad it would push, especially on tight corners. So that was a lesson learned in itself. Probably would have chosen a different car had I known, but I wanted to give it a try, being that it's new. So it was a learning process for sure. But hey, you know what? Between trying to learn it and some other people's misfortune, we'll take another podium.
I mean, all in all, it's a heck of a night. Again, it's a fun night out here to get out there, but a little pride in the line as well. I mean, obviously, I'm sure for the first race for the oval, you love getting the win regardless, but maybe to kind of stick the first little needle in there for Tuesday night for the Core Xfinity Series finale. And now here tonight, again, maybe it kind of came to you a little bit. A lot of big names getting taken out in that wreck in the International Horseshoe, but you come away with a second and still kind of show that you still got it. You can still get a podium here in the whether you believe it or not. You are on the podium. You are in second place here tonight after this.
Yeah, it's like, pitch me. No, I mean, like, I'll be honest. I've shown speed in GT3 cars before. I've won a couple races, but obviously it's not my forte. Like, you watch me on Tuesday nights. Like, that's my thing. That's always been my thing. Road racing has not really ever been my top interest. So a lot of the times, when somebody's running a road series, it's going to be on the back burner for me. And that's the way it is for me. I got 1 or 2 nights a week to work with, and I choose to run Tuesdays because that's what I'm familiar with. But, obviously that was my downfall with CSRL. Won a race there, but had to leave because it just didn't work with my work schedule and everything else. And so, coming out here and being able to do this on a quote unquote fun run and being able to get yourself back in the car. And again, like I said before, taking some laps and kind of learning if we're going to run this car as a team, understanding kind of what it's going to do to a degree for the 24-hour is big. So that, that's fantastic. We get to run some laps and dip your toes back in, kind of like you were alluding to or saying, dip your toes back in and get back in the form of racing that you're not necessarily accustomed with, but coming out with the result that we did, of course, both races is a big confidence boost for maybe some stuff will go our way on Tuesday, hopefully, and maybe we'll repeat as champ.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, congrats on another great run here tonight, another podium that we get to talk to you. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Oh, pretty much, on repeat from before, Simrat Market, Redrick Racing Development, everybody, EDE, you guys up here in the booth and just putting on this great event. It was awesome. Looking forward to the next one. And of course, other special events you guys do on Sundays or the weekend. Hopefully we make some more. But just everybody involved tonight. The racing was great in both races, I felt like. So hats off to all the leagues for coming together, whoever participated. And awesome showing by everyone.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again. We'll see you, I'm sure, on Tuesday night and competing for that gold championship.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
That is your second place finisher here tonight in the CRN Cup road race. Alan Elwood winner tonight, though. Jimmy, no slouch to winning in a GT car. That is Dominique Ford.
Hey, Dom, Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah. What's up?
Definitely no stranger to talking to you. We have our fair share of chit chats, that's for sure. But you come out here tonight at Daytona, an upcoming race, and the brand new Acura, and you got some maybe new blood out there that you're not used to running against. You had Craig Jancic out there just flying tonight, and you had one heck of a battle going. Were you kind of hanging back, trying to save some fuel from the get-go, trying to make it that rest of the way, or did you know right off the bat that you're going to need to make a quick stop?
Well, we were all talking about it at the beginning of the race, how, it would be close on the stop. And I knew in my heart that we were going to need to pit at least once. So I was like, all right, I'll try and save from the beginning, not knowing what was to come in lap one. So I was just going to lay back and save some fuel. But, that incident that happened, multiple incidents that happened on that opening lap was something, and I was able to avoid most of the wrecks, and the rest was kind of slow.
Yeah, you had a little bit of battle there with Craig Jancic there until you guys decided to pit, and it looks like Craig got slapped with a penalty coming in. So obviously opening the gates and the doors wide open for you to kind of walk away with this one here. You had, I think, a little over a 30-second lead crossing the start-finish line. And we we watch you every single week, or I compete with you every single week when I'm actually around. I watch you.
I watch you.
Carl watches you. But you're always out there dominating the field. You're one of the drivers to watch. You're one, that some of the drivers try to mimic to try to get better. Just want to say congrats. Thanks for coming out tonight, having a good time. Congratulations on the first place finish here. What might be, the start for maybe, a 24-hour win for you in this upcoming season. So hopefully we'll see you out here. Continue seeing you up in the booth here at CRN, whether it's with Carl or myself. And again, just want to say congrats and give you a little time for any shouts they may have on that brand new Acura.
Well, like always, I mean, shout out to you guys at broadcast. I really am excited to go back and watch this one, especially that opening lap. And shout out to both of you guys for hosting such a great event. I'm not the best oval racer, but I tried my best out there. I was drifting a little bit with this. I couldn't switch my wheels in time, so I was using my Formula wheel, and we were trying to go at it. But and then of course, coming to GT, which is my strong suit, and being able to get the win, he was really exciting. Shout out to Craig as well. He was fast, but it just took me a while to get that groove in. This car with this Daytona setup, I don't know if anybody else has told you, but do not run this Daytona setup ever again. It drives like trash.
Hey, it's a race-winning setup, okay?
I mean,
you know what?
The top three were all Acuras, all right? So you can't say nothing about that
And they're
setup.
all the Daytona setup.
I guess you're right. You're right on that part. Can't be wrong. But otherwise, I mean, shout out to just another great event here at Course. So we're gonna celebrate this win and go watch the carnage.
Plenty of carnage on lap number 1 and throughout the race as we're able to cover just for a short amount of time and just a very small brief showing of some of the drivers' skill sets out here. But again, congratulations on the win, and we'll let you go celebrate.
Thank you. Catch you later.
That is your winner here tonight in the road race for the CRN Cup, Dominique Ford. We got the points totals all done for tonight's road race, and winners by a mere 10 points. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you had CSRL did a fantastic job, and they got their guys in there in 4th, 6th, and 7th, and it wasn't enough, as the Core GT are going to be the winners here in the CRN Cup road race, with a first place finish by Dom Ford, a third place finish by David Tilford, and an 8th place finish by B. Vishwasam. So a great job for Core GT there, as they finished with 126 points for their 3 drivers, 116 for CSRL, 100 for VVR with Andrew Palesci, Dalton Kilroe, and Maxwell Caldwell. Certainly, I mean, we need to give some points to Todd Merkel. He certainly he did his best. Question mark. We certainly we got him on the camera quite a bit with that Merc. Maybe not exactly going straight all the time, other than straight towards the walls, but good running either way. And then finishing out the rest of the order, you got the Xfinity, Core Xfinity with 98 points, UCRL with 52, and YESCAR with 8 points, with Joshua DeLaha out there for them. Jimmy, this was, once again, I think a pretty big success. I think there's a lot of fun. It sounds like a lot of the drivers had there as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of drivers out there, a lot of different cars, and quite surprised, Carl, nobody was driving the McLaren tonight. Nobody was driving the Lambo. Out of all the cars out there, all the drivers, those cars got zero love. But yeah, Acura, the new flavor of the month, brand new on the circuit. And, you heard Dom talk about it, that maybe the setup wasn't the greatest, and the cars just handled different. And from what I heard, haven't had a chance to get behind the wheel of it yet, but I have heard that the Acura is a bit tight on entry for sure. So definitely looking forward to getting my opportunity to get in that car and turn some laps and see if I can do just as well as some of these drivers. But right now, I just want to give a shout out to all the drivers, all the leagues that participate here at CRN. Great to see everybody out here and a lot of familiar names and all the great league owners. If you're interested in any of these leagues, they're all great choices to get out there, whether you want roads or whether you want ovals, or whether you want old school oval, maybe some Xfinity series, whatever it may be. Get out there, join these guys. This is the opportunity for all drivers kind of come together. And, if you have a free night and, and you're an oval guy and you want to try some road, hit one of these leagues up. They'd be more than welcome to take you and share and have everybody learn what's going on. So, but again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, I got to plug CRN just a little bit. Hit that like and share if you haven't already. We're going to continue to do our thing. But Carl, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy hit the nail on the head. If you're looking for any kind of series, all these series have been fantastic for us. Both hospitable to us here, in the booth, but also putting on some great racing out there. And you've seen the talent that they have, and we highlight the talent. We show you how good the racing is. We show you how fast these guys are up front. But really, don't let that scare you, because all these leagues have a variety of drivers. I mean, you're not going to have a league filled with 30, 40 drivers and all of them can win on any given week. There's going to be some mid-pack, there's going to be some backpack drivers, and that's what these leagues give you a chance to do. Obviously, here in core for the 2 series, we have the core rating that allows for multiple different divisions, where you could be a top of the line driver and you're going to be driving in the gold division. There's the silver division for the mid-pack guys, and then there's the guys that are maybe towards the back half of the top 15, top 20 that are going to be in the bronze division. And then over in CSRL, they have a pro division and an AM division for the GT series. I mean, it's for everyone. I mean, none of these leagues are pro leagues. There's some guys that are very good drivers. It's going to be easy to win on any given week. I can tell you that right now. But it's welcoming to everybody. So, if you got a Tuesday night open and you want to get in the core Xfinity or UCRL, if you Wednesday night open, you want to get into CSRL or YESCAR, you got a Thursday night open and you want to get into the core or the VVR, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, you got the links down below to get into their Discords. You got the iRacing League IDs as well. There's your chance to get in. And, if you have any questions about any of them, certainly hit us up or let us know. We'll get you in contact with their league owners. But again, I want to thank you to all the league owners that help us out with VVR. Thank you to Tim Lee with UCRL. Thank you to Scott Bolster. YESCAR, thank you to David Duke, Big Duke over there. And then for CSRL, I want to thank Jim Dunton. And again, like Jimmy said, thank you to all you fans out there that join us along for this ride. It's been a fun one so far. 2024 is still not over. Again, we got 2 championships yet in core to decide this week. We got a couple more special events coming up for core as well, and possibly one coming up for UCRL. There could be a special event coming up for them as well before this season ends, and also one for VVR. So 2024 is certainly not done and over with yet, but this was fun here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Hit that like and subscribe. But for myself and Jimmy from the CRN Cup, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.